What the biggest secret in your family was hiding in plain sight. When Anna discovers a scratched-out face in an old family photo, she's drawn into a chilling mystery, one her entire family has spent years pretending never existed. The attic was thick with dust and the scent of old cedar, a place where forgotten things went to sleep. Anna had never been one for nostalgia, but after her mother's funeral, she found herself drawn to the boxes her family had left untouched for decades. She was searching for something, maybe comfort, maybe answers. What she found instead was a photograph, yellowed with age, tucked between the pages of a brittle family Bible. It was a portrait of her grandparents, her mother as a child, and a handful of aunts and uncles, all gathered in front of the old farmhouse. But one face, standing at the edge, had been violently scratched out, the paper torn and gouged until only a ghostly outline remained. Anna's heart pounded. She'd seen this photo before, but never noticed the missing face. She traced the jagged lines with her finger, feeling a chill that had nothing to do with the drafty attic. Who was this person? Why had they been erased so completely? She took the photo downstairs, her mind racing with questions. When she asked her aunt about it, the woman's face went pale. "That's just an old picture," she said, voice tight. "Best to leave the past where it belongs." But Anna couldn't let it go. She needed to know who the missing person was, and why her family had tried so hard to forget them. The rest of the day, Anna wandered the house, the photo burning a hole in her pocket. She watched her relatives pack up her mother's things, their faces drawn and tired, their conversations careful and shallow. It was as if everyone was afraid to say the wrong thing, to let the past slip through the cracks. That night, Anna lay awake, the image of the scratched-out face haunting her dreams. She remembered her mother's stories, always full of laughter and love, but never quite complete. There were gaps, moments that didn't add up, questions that had never been answered. The next morning, Anna returned to the attic, determined to find more clues. She sifted through boxes of letters, yearbooks, and holiday cards, but every family record seemed to skip over the same gap. There were stories about her mother's childhood, tales of holidays and hardships, but never a mention of the person who'd stood at the edge of that photo. Even the family tree, carefully drawn in her grandmother's hand, had a blank space where a name should have been. Anna pressed her relatives for answers, but each time she brought up the photo, the conversation would shift or end abruptly. Her uncle muttered, "Some things are better left alone," while her cousin simply shrugged and changed the subject. Frustrated, Anna turned to the local library, digging through old newspapers and public records. She found a birth certificate that matched the timeline, a child born to her grandparents, but with no further records. No school awards, no wedding announcements, no obituary. It was as if the person had simply vanished. The deeper Anna dug, the more she sensed a wall of silence, built brick by brick over years of denial. But she was determined to break through, no matter what she found on the other side. Anna's curiosity became an obsession. She spent her days combing through every box, every album, every scrap of paper in her mother's house. She found letters from her grandmother to distant relatives, but none mentioned the missing child. She found school photos, but always with the same faces, never the one that had been scratched out. She even found a faded Christmas card from the year the photo was taken, but the signature was smudged, the names incomplete. At night, Anna's dreams were filled with shadows and whispers. She saw the scratched-out face, heard a voice calling her name, felt a presence watching her from the corners of the room. She woke up sweating, her heart racing, convinced that the answer was just out of reach. She started to notice things she'd never seen before, a hesitation in her aunt's voice, a flicker of fear in her uncle's eyes, a strange tension that seemed to hang over every family gathering. Desperate for answers, Anna called her cousin Emily, who lived in the next town over. Emily was younger, less guarded, and Anna hoped she might know something. They met at a quiet coffee shop, and Anna slid the photo across the table. Emily stared at it for a long time, her fingers tracing the scratched-out face. "I've seen this before," she whispered. "But I was always told not to ask." Anna pressed her. "Who is it? Why does everyone act like they never existed?" Emily hesitated, then leaned in. "His name was Daniel. He was my uncle, your mother's brother. Something happened when they were teenagers. Something bad. After that, the family decided it was easier to pretend he never existed. They erased him from everything. Even saying his name feels wrong." Anna's mind reeled. She'd never heard of Daniel. What could he have done to deserve such erasure? Emily shook her head. "Just be careful. Some secrets are dangerous." Anna left the coffee shop with more questions than answers, but now she had a name, and a warning. Armed with Daniel's name, Anna dove deeper. She searched for any trace of him, school records, police reports, anything. She found a faded yearbook with a single photo, Daniel, a lanky teenager with a crooked smile, standing at the edge of a group. The caption read, "Daniel M., class of '79. But after that, nothing. No graduation photo, no mention in the local paper. It was as if he disappeared overnight. Anna tracked down one of Daniel's old classmates, a retired teacher named Mrs. Carter. When Anna showed her the yearbook photo, Mrs. Carter's eyes widened. "I remember Daniel. Quiet boy. Smart. But there was trouble at home. One day, he just stopped coming to school. The family said he'd gone to live with relatives out of state, but..." She trailed off, her expression troubled. "There were rumors. Fights. Police at the house. But no one ever talked about it." Anna thanked her and left, her mind swirling with possibilities. What had happened in that house to make her family erase Daniel so completely? Anna's next stop was the county courthouse, where she combed through old police logs and court records. Finally, she found it, a single, yellowed file marked confidential. The details were sparse, but the story was clear enough. One summer night, there had been a violent altercation at the family farmhouse. Daniel, then 17, had been accused of attacking his younger sister, Anna's mother. The case never went to trial, the family refused to press charges, and Daniel was sent away. The file ended with a note, "Subject relocated." No further action. Anna sat in the courthouse basement, the file trembling in her hands. The truth was uglier than she'd imagined. Her family hadn't just erased Daniel, they'd buried a trauma so deep that no one dared speak of it. Anna felt a wave of anger and sorrow. She understood the instinct to protect, but the silence had festered, turning pain into poison. She knew she couldn't let the story end here. Daniel's face had been scratched out, but his shadow still haunted them all. Anna's discovery changed everything. She confronted her aunt, who broke down in tears. "We thought we were protecting your mother," she sobbed. "But we were just running from the truth." Anna's mother, when finally pressed, admitted she remembered the night vividly, the fear, the confusion, the way the family closed ranks and sent Daniel away. "He was troubled, but he wasn't a monster," her mother whispered. "We all failed him." Anna's resolve hardened. She began searching for Daniel, hoping he was still alive. She posted on social media, contacted shelters, and followed every lead. Weeks passed with no word. Then, one morning, Anna received a letter. The handwriting was shaky, but the message was clear. "I am Daniel. I saw your post. I'm ready to talk." Anna's heart leapt. The person her family had erased was reaching out from the shadows, ready to tell his side of the story. Anna arranged to meet Daniel at a quiet park on the edge of town. She recognized him instantly, older, weathered, but with the same eyes as in the yearbook photo. Their conversation was awkward at first, but soon the years melted away. Daniel told her about the night that changed everything, the argument, the fear, the way things spiraled out of control. He admitted he'd made mistakes, but insisted he'd never meant to hurt anyone. "I was angry, lost. But I wasn't the only one," he said. "Our family was broken long before that night." Anna listened, tears streaming down her face. She realized that the truth was more complicated than she'd imagined. Daniel had been a victim, too, of silence, of shame, of a family that chose erasure over healing. As they parted, Daniel handed her a photograph. "This is the real me," he said. "Don't let them erase me again." Armed with Daniel's story, Anna returned to her family. She called a meeting, inviting every relative who'd been part of the cover-up. She laid out the evidence, the photo, the court file, Daniel's letter, and demanded the truth. There were tears, denials, and angry words, but Anna refused to back down. "We can't keep pretending," she said. "We have to face what happened." Slowly, the walls of silence began to crumble. Her mother apologized for her part in the erasure. Her aunt admitted she'd always felt guilty. Even her uncle, who'd been the most resistant, broke down and confessed his regret. The family began to talk, really talk, for the first time in decades. It was painful, but it was also healing. Anne realized that the only way to break the cycle was to bring the truth into the light. The process of healing was slow and messy. Some family members resisted, clinging to the old ways of silence and denial. But Anna persisted, encouraging open conversations and seeking help from a family therapist. She invited Daniel to join them, and though the first meetings were tense, over time, the family began to accept him back. They listened to his story, acknowledged his pain, and apologized for their role in his erasure. Anna felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The scratched-out face in the photo was no longer a symbol of shame, but of survival. The family began to rebuild, not by forgetting the past, but by facing it together. Anna knew there would always be scars, but now there was also hope, a chance to write a new chapter, one where no one was erased. The weeks that followed were a blur of difficult conversations and tentative steps toward reconciliation. Anna's family, once fractured by silence, began to find their voices. They met with a therapist, who helped them navigate the tangled web of guilt, anger, and grief. Daniel attended the sessions, sometimes sitting in silence, sometimes sharing memories that made everyone cry. Anna's mother apologized for the years of silence, for the pain she'd carried and the pain she'd caused. Daniel forgave her, but the process was slow, each step forward hard-won. Anna watched as her family learned to speak honestly, to listen without judgment, to acknowledge the wounds that had festered for so long. There were setbacks, old resentments flared, and some relatives refused to participate. But Anna refused to give up. She organized family dinners, encouraged her cousins to reach out to Daniel, and made sure everyone knew that the door was always open. Gradually, the family began to heal. They shared stories, laughed over old memories, and created new ones. Daniel became a part of their lives again, not as a ghost or a shameful secret, but as a brother, an uncle, a survivor. Anna felt a sense of peace she'd never known before. The face in the family photo was no longer a mystery, but a reminder of the power of truth and the possibility of forgiveness. On the anniversary of her mother's passing, Anna gathered the family for a memorial dinner. She brought out the old photo, now carefully restored. Daniel's face, once scratched out, had been repaired by a skilled artist. Anna placed the photo at the center of the table. "This is our family," she said. "All of us." There were tears and laughter as stories were shared, some painful, some joyful. Daniel, once a ghost, was now a part of the family again. Anne realized that the true legacy of her family wasn't the secrets they'd kept, but the courage to face them. As the evening ended, Anna felt a sense of peace. The face in the family photo was no longer a mystery, but a reminder: the truth, no matter how painful, is always worth remembering. Word of Anna's journey spread beyond her immediate family. Relatives from distant branches reached out, some with their own stories of secrets and silence. Anna found herself at the center of a growing web of connection, as cousins and second cousins shared their own struggles and triumphs. The family, once divided by shame, began to come together, united by a shared commitment to honesty and healing. Anna started a family newsletter, inviting everyone to contribute stories, photos, and memories. The project became a source of pride and connection, a way to celebrate the family's resilience and growth. Daniel contributed as well, sharing his perspective and encouraging others to speak their truth. The family tree, once marked by blank spaces and erasures, began to fill in, each branch a testament to the power of forgiveness. Anne realized that her journey had created a ripple effect, inspiring others to confront their own secrets and seek healing. She received messages from strangers who had read about her story online, thanking her for her courage and sharing their own experiences. Anna felt a sense of purpose, knowing that her family's pain had not been in vain. As the years passed, Anna's family continued to grow and change. New marriages, new babies, new stories. The old wounds never disappeared completely, but they no longer defined the family. Anna's children grew up knowing Daniel as their great-uncle, hearing stories of his resilience and strength. The family photo, once a symbol of shame, became a cherished heirloom, a reminder of the journey they had taken together. Anna continued to advocate for truth and healing, speaking at local events and writing articles about her experience. She encouraged others to confront their own family secrets, to choose honesty over silence, to believe in the possibility of forgiveness. The family's legacy was no longer one of erasure, but of courage and connection. Anna knew that the journey was never truly over. There would always be challenges, always new secrets to uncover, always new wounds to heal. But she faced the future with hope, knowing that her family had the strength to face whatever came their way. On a bright spring day, Anna gathered her family for a reunion at the old farmhouse. The air was filled with laughter and the scent of blooming flowers. Anna watched as her children played with their cousins, as Daniel chatted with her mother, as the family came together in a way she had never thought possible. As the sun set, Anna brought out the restored family photo and placed it on the mantel. She looked at Daniel, his face now a part of the family's story once more. "We remember you," she said softly. "We remember all of us." The family joined hands, sharing a moment of silence for those they had lost and those they had found again. Anna felt a sense of peace, knowing that the truth had set them free. The face in the family photo was no longer a secret, but a symbol of love, resilience, and the power of forgiveness. If you believe every family deserves the chance to heal, share this story with someone who's searching for the truth. What would you do if you found a face in your family photo that no one would talk about? Let us know in the comments below.